Anyway, Jeff said, Tom's Odyssey is an unsentimental but stirring true story of a bewildered kid in search of something he couldn't name on a frankly ill-advised journey to a country still stumbling through its own infancy, Australia. But I'd have to advise Jeff, I think its infancy was about 1770. Yeah. And the bewildered kid would now be Methuselah. But I got what Jeff meant. I understood what he meant. My latest and third in the series, A Runaway Life, takes up where Tom's Odyssey left off. One reviewer, my brother Tom, he's always been my fiercest critic, so it wasn't like favoritism or anything. He said, a truly engaging story of love and life, hurtling from Australia to California, Canada to the UK, then back to Australia. The book is full of amusing anecdotes and heartfelt love and passion. The reader never quite knows what's coming next. It's a page-turner with highs and lows that will make you gasp. I can't recommend it enough. I read the whole book in 2 days. I couldn't put it down. I have to say at this point, Tom owes me about £20, so after that review, I should probably quit while I'm ahead. It's a wonder I became a writer at all, because when my mother passed away a couple of years ago, I found an old school report when clearing out her house. Quote, John struggles on and makes some progress, needs to assert himself more in class. He seems to be capable of retaining facts, but powerless to express them on paper. Headmaster, Mr. F.J. Edge. Well, Mr. F.J. Edge, excuse my French, fuck you. My writing instructor at City College didn't fill me with a lot of confidence either. After he read my first poor attempt at memoir writing, he said, he needs a lot of work, John. And I said, well, I'm just writing it for my family. What makes you think they're going to want to read it? You need to dig deeper into yourself. Show more of your feelings and in emotions. And I said, well, emotions? I'm British. We don't do emotions. But then I thought, for a moment, Mr. Lowenkopf, I have an idea. As of last week, I became a newly minted American citizen. So now I have carte blanche to let it all hang out. And so I let it all hang out in A Runaway Life. I hadn't intended to write another memoir. I think Martha wishes I hadn't. Because, as well as some happy times, it digs up a lot of painful memories for her and for me. But so many people wanted to know what happened next. So I wrote 244 pages on what happened next. The title comes from childhood, when being run away with by ponies and horses became a recurring theme in my life. And for a period in the 1970s and early 1980s when this story takes place, Martha and I felt as though life was running away with us. We felt like we were on this out-of-control roller coaster and we couldn't get off. At the beginning of the book, Martha and I are hurtling across a frozen Canada in a Greyhound bus, facing an uncertain future. I was preoccupied by a letter from my father expressing his worries about me coming back to England with no idea of a career or what I was going to do. Something 3 years in Australia was supposed to resolve. I was coming back with less money than when I left, to a country deep in recession and high unemployment, and travelling with me, I had someone far more valuable than money, Martha, a free-spirited Californian. Yay! I was worried about bringing into my conservative English family. But in life, love is a way of steering even the most uncertain paths. The first half of the book sees us back in England, where by sheer luck, as things often happen with me, I found a job as a trainee computer operator. My golfing friends, who are here today, some of them, call it the Holman bounce. Because in their eyes, the ball always seems to bounce the right way. But if they read this book, they'll find out that wasn't always true. Anyway, I said to Martha at the time, I'll do this job until I figure out what I really want to do. The world of computers kept me employed for the next 40 years. But I still haven't figured out what I really want to do. Life wasn't easy in Britain in the 70s. A rocky road lay ahead, set against the background of a miners' strike that led to an energy crisis where cities fell dark and factories and schools closed. The government put companies on a 3-day work week, In that environment, Martha and I couldn't survive on the salaries we were making. So after 2 years, we made the difficult decision to leave family behind again and move back to Australia. Oh, and on the way we got married in Montecito, just about 200 yards down the road. The second half of the book and the second phase of our lives as a married couple in the 70s, Australia was the best of times and the worst of times, dominated by two tragedies. The death of my father by suicide, and a year later the early death of Martha's mother at the age of 57 from a malignant cancer, an event that changed the course of our lives once again. In a leap of faith, we sold our Sydney apartment, quit our jobs, had a baby, and moved to California. The roller coaster life continued. If you want to see how it all panned out, you'll have to read A Runaway Life. There are more laughs than frowns in the book, and my object, as always, is to make the reader laugh. So I'll leave you with a couple of jokes from my father, who weaves his way in and dramatically out of my book and out of our lives. He was a wonderful man with a larger-than-life personality who could have been a stand-up comedian. A joke always floated somewhere near the surface of his brain. I wish he was here to tell them, because he can tell jokes a lot better than mine. His time was perfect. So, with this couple on a cruise ship, gazing out at the moonlight glistening off the ocean, the wife turns to the husband and he says, "You know, dear, you remind me of the sea." And he says, "What? Wild, reckless, untamed? No, you make me sick." "What's more, when you're dead, I'm going to dance on your grave." And he says, "Oh good, I'm going to be buried at sea." I've got one more. I had a meal last night. I said to the waiter, "Look, this chicken I got here is cold." He said, "It should be. It's been dead for 2 weeks." I said, "Not only that," I said it twice, "he's got one leg shorter than the other." He said, "Well, what do you want to do with it? Eat it or dance with it?" So I said, "Forget the chicken, give me a lobster." And he bought me this lobster. I said, "Just a minute, he's only got one claw." He said, "Well, he's been in a fight." And I said, "Well, give me the winner."
Very cute.
Thanks for coming. And I'd like to thank a few people. Mike Gordon for illustrating my book. He's over there. He's done like hundreds of children's stories.
Hey.
I give him an idea, and he completely turns it around. It completely changes it. It's completely the opposite to what I give him. But he's right, because obviously the covers are brilliant. And Rich Ailing, wherever he is, he actually puts all the covers together for me, because that's handy. And I used to work with all these guys, so it's kind of an incestuous sort of thing. And Brian Tanguay, I don't know where he is. He writes mostly on politics.
Yeah.
There he is. He founded the California Review of Books, which is brilliant. And he made time to get my little book in there a couple of times. So, and I used to work with Brian as well. So.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, let's go, Brian, yeah.
Who else? Oh, Audrey Rose. I don't know where she is, but she made these wonderful sausage rolls.
Good.
Which brought about half the people out. If you don't want a sausage roll, it's well, you want to taste one. They're really good. Am I missing somebody? Oh, my wife Martha. She's my inspiration.
Someone else.
I'll be back in West Grinstead, pulling a plough or something. Or I don't know what I'd be doing, but anyway, I'll be happy to sign a copy if you wish to purchase one. And just remember, Christmas is coming, so you need to.
What about your next book?
Yeah, my next book is going to be all about California, so nearly all of you are probably going to be in it. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Get lawyered up before you.
Yeah, really.
And he's doing the cover, but he's a bit slow at the moment. He's got a bad leg. I told him what I wanted, and he said, "No, that's not going to work."
I got a bad leg.
Not the Hollywood sign in the background, not the mission, so people know where you are.
Yeah.
So, are there any questions I can ask them?
Is this the end of the trilogy?
It's going to be a quartet now.
Yeah.
Not a quintet. It's not going to be a quintet. It's just a quartet. So, yeah. Any questions, any answers?
Sign some
I'll be
books.
there to sign books.
The
and
sign books.
drink more wine. There's plenty, I hope there's plenty of wine left, but Graham's here, so there's probably no wine left. Well, thank you all for coming.
Yeah.